everybody, Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. This is what I've made today. It's a little box that holds a bar of my favourite chocolate. Very easy to make. Stay with me, I'll show you how I made it. I've measured my bar of chocolate, so I know the measurements that I need to put into this spreadsheet, and you can get a copy of this from my blog if you want to. So it's 1 3/4 of an inch wide and 6 inches high or long, and it is 1/2 an inch, so that's 0.5 of an inch in depth. So I need to cut my card to 5 inches by 8 inches, and to score on the width at 1 3/4 of an inch, 2 1/4, 4 inches and 4 1/2 inches, and on the height at 1/2 an inch, 1 inch, 7 inches and 7 1/2 inches. Okay, so my card is cut to 5 inches by 8 inches, and now I need to score it on the short side at 1 3/4 of an inch, 2 1/4 inches, whoops, 4 inches and 4 1/2 inches, and on the long side, with my tablet out of the way, it is at 1/2 an inch, 1 inch, 7 inches and 7 1/2 inches. So I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to burnish those folds with my Teflon folder. Right, so this is going to be the front of my box. So with my pen, I don't need these flaps. I don't need these flaps. Okay, yep, don't need those, don't need those, don't need those, don't need those. So those are the ones that I'm going to cut away, and I always find it helpful to myself to mark what I'm keeping and what I'm not keeping, because I'm apt to chop off the wrong bits. Corner rounder, I'm just going to round off those edges just to give it a nicely finished look. And now, because this is a fold flat box, I can make it up ahead of time. A little bit of my tear and tape along that 1/2 inch edge on its own there. Get the backing off the tear and tape. And just close up the box. I have 2 strips of this glorious Perennial Essence Designer Series paper, and they are 1.5 by 5 3/4, so just a tiny bit bigger than the panels of the box. And I'm just going to apply them to the front and the back of the box. Now, it's up to you whether or not you cover the back of your box. If you were making like multiples of these to put teacher gifts in or something like that, then perhaps you'd only cover the front. But because you get 2 strips very handily, a tiny bit left over from a 12 by 12 piece of paper, I've decided that on this occasion I'm going to cover the front and the back of the box. Just so as not to waste it. Let's come this way a little bit. This is why I use liquid adhesive, because it does give you that wiggle time. And before I go any further, I've got a 1/2 inch circle punch here, and it probably would have been easier to do this before I put the box together, but hey ho, such is life. And I'm just snipping out and just kind of centering it by eye, and I'm just snipping out one end just to make it a little bit easier to open the box once it's closed. I want to add a little gift tag and a sentiment to the box, so I'm going to use For You from Itty Bitty Greetings, which is a nice general kind of sentiment. I've got a scrap bit of Blackberry Bliss card, and I've given it a jolly good coat with my embossing buddy. I'm stamping with Versamark ink. I've gone ahead and inked up my stamp, and I'm giving it a good few seconds for the ink to transfer. I've got my embossing powder here. This one happens to be my mixed up embossing powder, which I made by mistake, but we're not going to throw it away. So this is gold and silver. You could use either gold or silver for this. I think if I was using one colour, I think on this I'd probably go with gold. Excuse me, I've got embossing powder on my ink pad, and I'm just going to wipe away. There's a couple of areas there where I can see that the powder's kind of overspilled. There's my little brush. I haven't got a little brush, got a big brush. So I'm just going to dust away those pieces. Heat gun on high. If your heat gun goes to two temperatures. Now I've got my Timeless Label punch, which is one of the brand new ones from this year's catalogue. And I'm just going to punch that out. So this is some of the vellum, the coloured vellum card that's in the new catalogue, and I have the leaf punch. And I'm just going to punch out a few leaves. I've used reinkers to colour some of the polka dot, the Whisper White polka dot tulle ribbon. I've been doing all sorts of colours because I got the idea from Sherry's cards. And basically what I did was took a length of the ribbon, put it in some warm water, and I added a teaspoonful of salt to it, and then I put about 30 drops of reinker, and then left it there overnight, left it there for 24 hours. And if you hop on over to Sherry's cards, and I will put the link below, you can see how she did it. So this one is Blackberry Bliss, this one is Granny Apple Green, and I'm trying to decide which of them I'm going to use. So how does it look with the Blackberry Bliss? You can see I've put one of my leaves on there. Or would the Granny Apple Green look better? I'm going to go with the Granny Apple Green, I think. Let's see how we get on with that. And yeah, I dyed a couple of yards at a time. Let's just tie that in a free bow. Don't know if you can hear crunching noises in the background, but yeah, Misty's just having a spot of lunch. Okay, so how's that look? Do I like that? Yes, I believe I do. So I'm just going to trim the ends of that a little bit. I've been dyeing my Whisper White ribbon, my Whisper White polka dot spot ribbon, in all sorts of colours at the moment. I've got some Bermuda Bay and Call Me Clover sitting in jam jars in the kitchen at the moment, even as we speak. Let me tidy that away. These are just dolly pegs, which I got from Amazon. So they're a cute way of storing your ribbon. Okay, alright, so let's have these other two leaves, just to fill in the space a bit. They're on glue dot, as you can see. I've trimmed the ends off those two sprigs, and now I'm going to put my little bow in place with a glue dot. So kind of put that around there, and I want to fill in this space here a little bit. So I've got these frosted flower embellishments, and I'm going to take one of the purpley ones, which I'm not sure whether this is Blackberry Bliss. I think it might be Blackberry Bliss, but it's kind of purpley anyway. Okay, and it just fills in the space just a little bit. Quite liking that. And I have another length of the ribbon that I have coloured, and a piece of tail tape. Which doesn't want to give up its backing. There you go. And I'm just going to wrap that all the way around. And let's pop a couple of dimensionals onto the tag. And let's pop that in place so that it kind of looks like it's been tied on, but of course we know it hasn't. And there you go. Okay, so after I'd finished this, I decided that I kind of wanted to double up the tag a bit. So I'm hoping this is going to work. I've got a length of dental floss, and I'm just going to run it along here. There we go, that's got it. So that one's a little bit tough, but that's okay, that's going to come away. And put a spot of glue there to hold things down. Okay, so I have those two, which I will kind of leave where they are. And I'll pop my gold one. No, I want it that way. Go, just sticking out behind there like that. And now I can put my liquid adhesive onto that one. And if I decide I want to move it after this, it's too bad, because that's not going anywhere. Okay. And yes, I am much happier. I'm much happier with that. I like the look of that one a lot better. Just move that slightly. There we go. And there it is. So that is a nice little present for somebody. And yeah, you could make them ahead of time, store them in a drawer, and then just pop them up, pop your chocolate in, and you're good to go. That is it for today. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and would love it if you came back and saw me again sometime soon. But for now, thank you very much for joining me, and I'd love to see you again sometime soon. Bye bye.